RC Pro-Am, Sesame Street 1, 2, 3, and ABC, Marble Madness, Silent Service, Captain Skyhawk, Battletoads, Donkey Kong Country, Killer Instinct, Blast Corps, GoldenEye 007, Banjo-Kazooie, Perfect Dark, and Conker's Bad Fur Day.
All of these games exist because of the amazing... okay, well, they used to be amazing Rare. I mean, seriously, they made some of the best NES, Super Nintendo, and Nintendo 64 games, like, ever. Seriously, there was a time when if you were looking for a good game, all you had to do was look for that golden R on the cover, and you were set.
Of course, things change, people evolve, and Microsoft ruins things even though they're trying to help. In 2002, Rare was bought by Microsoft. Many people, including myself, feel like this was the beginning of the end of Rare. Then, the first game produced by Microsoft was made. It started out a GameCube title though, so does Rare have one more gem, or did the shift to the Xbox immediately ruin them? Let's play Grabbed by the Ghoulies and find out!
Alright, like I said before, Grabbed by the Ghoulies is the first mainstream game of theirs that wasn't produced on a Nintendo console. It originally came out on the Xbox in 2002, and I literally know nothing about this game. So, looking at it, it just looks like it's going to be a fun kids horror adventure. And that's exactly what I'm hoping for. So, let's get into this.
Grabbed by the Ghoulies starts with two young people walking around in the forest when it starts to rain, and in hope of staying dry, they rush toward a big, creepy house. But as they start to make their way in, Baron von Ghoul sicks some statues after them, and they end up taking the girl. And no, I have no clue what her name is, because they haven't said it yet, so we'll just ignore that for now. Once in the house, the search for your lady friend begins. This is when you meet the first of several characters that will help you along the way. Crivens. He's an old-ass servant-looking dude that locks you in a room full of imps and tells you how to fight them. And the way you fight in Grabbed by the Ghoulies isn't with the buttons. You have to point the right joystick in the direction you want to attack in. This is kinda weird though, because you can't control how quickly you attack or what kind of attack that you do. You just shove the joystick in the direction of the enemies and hope old Cooper does what, he's supposed to do. After clearing the room of these tiny imps, you do it again, but with a chair as a weapon. Then the door unlocks to the next room, where you suffer your first super scary shock. Super scary shock, if you couldn't understand me. Sorry. It happens when one of the heads on the walls jump to life and start screaming at Cooper. Once this happens, you are prompted to do a quick time event. If you hit the buttons in time, you're fine. If not, then you lose 10 hit points.
Man, hopefully that doesn't happen a lot later, because for some reason, I can never remember the layout of this damn thing. The PlayStation layout I know in my sleep. The Nintendo layout just makes sense. But this damn thing? I have no clue why, but I just can't memorize it. That's okay though, I'm sure it won't bite me in the ass later on.
After this, you go into another room that has skeletons just walking around in a billiard room. You of course fight them before the next door will unlock and, it takes you to the next area. And your lady friend is sitting there tied up in a chair.
Alright, cool. It was a short game, but... Oh, no. Let's go back.
Oh, no, never mind. We're just gonna keep getting close and then have her pulled away from us. Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. Then, you get attacked again, obviously, and then you clear the room again, but now is when the game starts to add requirements to get out of each room. For example, instead of just needing to kill everyone in the room, maybe now you need to do it with a certain amount of time, or can't kill anything without a weapon, or you only have to kill certain enemies to progress. The combinations are endless, and the game just starts adding more and more qualifiers per room. But what happens if you don't do those? Well, Death shows up and he tries to poke you. What the hell else would happen? One of the coolest things about Death is that he will kill anything that he touches. And yeah, that also includes the enemies. So, even if you do mess up and kill an enemy type that you weren't meant to, or, you just got stuck, Death will show up, and if you play your cards right, Death can do all of your dirty work for you. But these little requirements aren't the only changes that happen now. Each room you enter will give you a different amount of health. Apparently it's the Baron's way of just messing with you. So you can go from having 40 hearts in one room to being pushed all the way down to 5 hearts.
Really, it depends on if the game wants it to be a difficult room or just a walk in the park. In the beginning of this game, it really doesn't have a large effect because, they give you enough hearts in every single room that I never really even had to think about it.
Another fun addition after a couple more of these rooms are cans of soup. They vary as to what they do to Cooper. Most are for giving you health, but there are a lot that are for helping in other ways, like making it so your weapons don't break after 3 hits, making you move faster, killing enemies with 1 hit, and, all sorts of stuff. Of course, though, there are a couple that hinder you. There are soups that can make you super slow, reduce your health to 1 for a period of time, or even reverse the controls.
The only kind of difference I can see in soups is the clear kind and the real kind, because clear soups can suck a dick.
After another stint of running from room to room, beating up imps and spiders and such, you finally come up on enemies that are harder to beat. The mummies are the first enemies that require you to do something different than just smacking them around a bit. You get a big-ass candle that you have to catch them on fire with. It's still just hitting them, but later on you have to find a way to hit the mummies into fire to take them out. It changes things up, and that happened at the right time, because just mindlessly running through room after room after room, holding the right stick forward isn't challenging at all. More new enemies start to show up, though, that require you to retreat and attack strategically, or, other kinds of strategies like that. Like this big-ass door. Yeah, it's just a door, but it can really kick the crap out of you if you don't plan ahead, at least a little bit. Then, again, we find Cooper's lady. I still don't know what the hell her name is. Did I miss it somewhere? Oh well. True to form, right before you save her, the evil Dr. Crackpot shoots her with something and turns her into this big old ugly monster thing. Look. You run into another helpful person, Ma Soupsville. And wouldn't you know it, she's the one that's making all the soups and says that she can fix your lady friend. Man, what the freak is her name?
Okay, this is bugging me. I'm gonna look her up and find out. Okay, her name's Amber. Great, I can continue now.
Okay, as I was saying, she can fix Amber. All she needs are these 3 items, so Cooper is off to find them. And I hate to say it, but after this point, Grabbed by the Ghoulies starts to feel repetitive, which is a real bummer, because I'm enjoying the all-around feel of the game, and, it has like a Goosebumps feel to it that would have lent itself to having random monsters from the books as enemies, and having someone like R.L. Stine writing for it would have really helped this whole scenario to not be so damn predictable. There are a couple of rooms that you're given weapons like a squirt gun or a soda can shooter, but these unfortunately make the rooms even easier 90% of the time. So they're a fun change of pace, but I wish they would have made these parts harder, making the weapons necessary instead of them just being another novelty. A couple more things happen. I won't say what they are just in case you want to play it for yourself, but towards the end of the game, I got my wish. It gets hard as balls. Almost every room has 3 restrictions you have to follow. And there's even a timer, so you can't take your sweet ass time being careful. Half the time, I would have to fail the restrictions just to make death show up and help me take out all the enemies so I would be able to make the timer. But those aren't really the hard parts. This is. Yeah, remember these dirty sons of bitches? Well, they're back and they go straight for the ghoulies. You know, your nuts. I mean, damn! Look at how many buttons there are. There almost isn't even enough space for them, there are so damn many. And you have to hit them so quickly. This part's been kicking my ass.
The worst part of this whole thing is after you've done a hard fight and it'll show up at the end of a room. Or there's at least 4 of them in just one room. I mean, there's so many times where I made it to the last one and then I failed and I had to start the whole room over again. Oh my gosh, it's driving me crazy. Ah!
I don't know what to do. If only I could look at this controller and the screen at the exact same time. Oh. That might actually work.
I mean, damn, it's worth a shot, right? Yes! You quick time events. You in the face.
Okay. Regained my composure. I am an adult. Here we go. Okay. Shortly after this nonsense, the game is over. To be honest, it was way past due. It felt like the ending of BioShock. You thought you had made it to the end, but then there's still more to do. My mind was very done with this game 2 times before Grabbed by the Ghoulies was truly over. Overall, Grabbed by the Ghoulies was a decent experience, but there are a couple things I wish Rare would have handled completely differently. For one, why the holy hell does Rare refuse to use voice actors? It would have brought so many parts of this game to life, and it really needed some of that personality. On the N64, I was totally cool with the blah 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 style of everything that, you know, everyone speaks. But then Conker's Bad Fur Day was totally voice acted.
The frying pan. You stupid little...
And this is an exclusive to the Xbox. It should have been a no-brainer. You need voice actors! The graphics are okay. I don't mind the cel-shaded look, and I feel it really helps make the mood of what kind of adventure you're about to take. But these cutscenes... Oh my god, why? What the hell is up with this comic layout? This isn't based on a comic book hero, nor does it take place inside of a comic book through the game world like Comic Zone. This just felt like a random-ass choice so that they could be lazy as during these cutscenes, and it shows that was the thinking behind this choppy mess that they used to tell the story. Which brings me to the story. I feel like Grabbed by the Ghoulies started strong with a fun amount of, you know, children's horror, but only like a 1/5 of the way into the game, I was expecting some kind of curveball or something unseen happening in the background. But instead, the whole game is predictable. Nothing happens in here that I didn't see coming. And that's a crying shame, because this had the potential to be something special. It just follows every trope there is without trying to change anything or, you know, add something exciting. As far as the gameplay goes, it just never pushes you as a player to learn anything new or try anything new. The combat is very simple, and the path, you can't stray from it even a little. As you progress from each room, only one door unlocks after you've cleared it. So this means absolutely no exploration, meaning you never have to worry about where you're going. It's not all bad though. The lighthearted nature of the game is very inviting to younger players,
and the atmosphere is done very well. It feels like a horror game that never takes itself seriously, and if that's what you're looking for, this game does it pretty well. Overall though, Grabbed by the Ghoulies is a very clear-cut fall from grace. Rare on Nintendo platforms, especially from the Super Nintendo and the N64, were always a seal of quality, but their first Xbox game is, well, it's less than impressive. I went into this game with high hopes, but after the first 2 hours of gameplay, I found myself fighting to finish it instead of wanting to. I'm not saying fun can't be had with Grabbed by the Ghoulies. If it sounds like a game that you might like, I would just suggest playing another game at the same time so you can play this one in multiple sessions instead of one long playthrough. As far as grading Grabbed by the Ghoulies goes, I feel like it's earned itself a 4 out of 10. And yes, I know, I'm shocked too. I went in this game expecting it to fare a lot better than 4 out of 10, but the overly simplified combat, the repetitive gameplay, the lazy storytelling, and no voice acting, I mean, come on, it's hard to suggest this game to most people. And, I mean, the game was built well, and yeah, that sounds a little confusing, but Cooper never went flying through the floor, the buttons always did what they were supposed to do, and, I mean, it never felt unfinished. So it wasn't a bad game, but it just wasn't a fun game. Yeah, oh man, that's a lot like saying, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. It's the parent in me kicking in. Thanks for coming by and watching another sad video. And if you liked what I did, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to see more of this kind of ridiculous stuff, hit the subscribe button. And believe it or not, it really means a lot to me when you do either. So, you know, please, I'm begging you. And I'd also like to give a huge shout out to Level 7 Games for lending me Grabbed by the Ghoulies. And we're setting up some real fun stuff that we're going to clue you guys in on. And, I mean, who knows? It's a big project, and we had no clue it would take this long. But trust me, it will be fun, and it will be freaking awesome. So hang in there and keep watching, and I will see you guys next time.